Welcome back to a Thrumnal video review, and we have FOC Jazz! Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Very Cybertronian car, very white, very bright. Little as we're transforming. Flip out the hands. Now, here's one of the issues, because a lot of people have had this problem with gaps here, or even gaps across here. Now, as you unpeg this and slide this whole unit out, I have managed to finally get this pegged in here. And not to stress the peg that's down here by the, the side panel that a lot of people have broken off. Pull it up a little bit, and then rotate this panel here. This panel's on a sliding peg-on unit to this blue tab here, and it's also on this ball joint, which is connected into the blue unit, which is clipped on, or clipped with this white unit on it. So, getting this to rotate and peg onto here will allow you to slide it into here. You just pay attention to getting that pegged in gingerly without breaking that peg system there, and you won't have any weight against this little tiny peg in the arm. A lot of people have snapped theirs off because they didn't look while they were doing the instructions. They just go and half-cocked and just immediately start transforming this thing without the directions. Bad. Rule 1. Look at the directions, understand the directions, and then move on. Yeah, just because you think you can do it without the directions doesn't mean you should. It's kind of like dealing with, electronics. No. Look before you leap. Then we're going to pop these apart. There's this little tab here and this little clip hole there, which pop that in there, and do so on the other side. Rotate the forearm, bicep area, bring down his arms, do the same on the other side. And then, here's the fun part. Now, his head is in this little cubby, built by his feet. Yes, he's smelling his own feet. It's better than smelling his own butt. Anyways, bringing down the legs, Now, I've actually counted. Hey, look, it's a short figure. Anyways, he has 7 ratchets in his elbows, 5 ratchets in his knees, and 6 on his feet, which is actually pretty cool. Now, on this hinging system, bring up the chest panel, and then on this other hinging unit, which you can't see any of that, I'm sorry. On this hinging system, let's see, we're going to hold the side panels in front of the silver panel and the spoiler, bring it all the way down until it stops on its own. Bring up the entire chest panel itself. There's a clip back here, that little hole there, and this tab right here are going to clip in. Focus! Clip in there. There's this pseudo sliding setup, which is these little sliders right here are going to slide over these little slits. Tabby, focus! Jeez. Anyways, and slide those over just like so. I said just like so. It's getting stuck on things today. That's another one of my issues with Jazz. He doesn't tend to listen a lot. And split the feet a little bit. Give him a little bit more of a relaxed look with bent knees and some bent elbows. Otherwise he looks a little stiff. Now, my first problem is his feet doesn't bend far enough forward, so he, has to stand all constipated looking. For starters, let's go ahead and plug his gun in his hand. Get him all standing up. Now, if you haven't noticed, I used a little bit of Elmer's painter pen here for the metallic to finish off that little blue white dab they had there. And then if you look carefully enough, on his head, the little lighter blue, come on, focus, that's on the side panel there and across the top of his visor, up the front part of his visor unit, and on top of his head. I had to paint those because the paint was peeling off of his head. I mean, you could just rub it and it would just come right off. And there are some silver splotches of the silver coming off and going on to the, or came off, which it's not going to come on the camera. Right by his cheek into his face vent. They're just rubbing it, or it like sort of blotched and smeared when he was painted, apparently. I really think Hasbro's getting kind of sloppy with some of these figures. But that's just me. And you gotta watch out because these characters, these new FOCs, with their wheels, they only use this 2-peg. We can focus on that. There's a 2-peg thingies. And unfortunately, they're getting stress marks on the wheels. I mean, yeah, they roll pretty nice and freely. I can't complain about that, but and cutting down on the metal pins is great. But they're popping off constantly on me. But, yeah, stop falling over. Anyways, size comparisons. Actually, before we do size comparisons, let's do this. His mobility or his articulation, he has a ball joint so he can look side to side. That's about it because his big old chin gets in the way and these panels in the back get in the way of his head, but he can look side to side and a little bit up and a little tiny bit down. That's about it. He does have full 360 with his arms. He does have this pseudo side swivel. He has a rotation of mid you know what I'm talking about right there. It's just above the elbow there. He's got the clicky on the elbow, which you can give him the broken elbow look. He has the full rotation of a ball-jointed wrist. Bicep, there we go. He's got the swivel at the bicep. Wow, I couldn't think of it. He does have the full range of movement on, well, not full, but he does have a pretty decent amount in his hip. He does have the above, this little hip articulation thing for the slider. He does have above the knee swivel as well. He has the ratcheting knee. He has the moving ankles. And it's all kind of like this pseudo ratcheting thing, and it's really nice. He holds his stances pretty well, but he still looks like a linebacker. He's just so bulky in the top. He's wearing his football gear. Patriots! Anyways, sorry. Size comparisons now, we have FOC, well, get him over here, FOC Optimus Prime, and we have FOC Shockwave. And again, to show you how shorter they're getting, let's put Megatron back here. And I'll put him back there, like I did in the other video, 2 inches away. Still, Megatron is taller than all 3 of these. And of course, this has been Jazz, Shockwave from the video before, and some of my game collection figures. Until next time, this has been Thrumnal. Have yourselves a great one.